we'll try to go quickly.
Hungry,
Yeah, I know.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
No, we make it so without mitzvah. This is what
Okay.
Then it becomes everybody's mitzvah of eating. So we'll try to make a Siyum, Masechet Brachot. Actually, I found out a few days ago, Masechet Brachot is not the longest amount of pages, but it's the longest amount of words in all of the Gemaras is Masechet Brachot. All the pages are top to bottom. It's really like wide, long, a lot of words. Anyway, Baruch Hashem, I think 1.5 years already. I'm learning Masechet Brachot, and we got here.
And there's
Over here. So it's 1.5 years already. We're trying to finish. Baruch Hashem, that now we're able to finish the Masechet, even though we need still to do a lot more review and everything. But it's a good step in the right direction. Anyway, first before we start, always you have to say for Liluy Nishmat, my grandpa, that I'm very lucky to have his name, Ephraim ben Moshe. Baruch Hashem Tehechim B'Gan Eden. Also for Refuah Shalema of all the Cholim. Everybody knows Rafael ben Michal, Yodav ben Yafa, all of the Cholim, everybody who needs. And also for the well-being of everyone who doesn't necessarily need. We also have to pray for that too, so that we don't need to ask for Refuah Shalema later. We pray for it now. Anyway, I'll say a few stories from or actually also have to say thank you to Hashem that He gives us this opportunity. Thank you to Rabbi Biton for coming. Thank you to my dad and uncles and mom and everybody that gives us this ability. And of course, thank you to my wife that when I'm not in the mood to learn, she pushes me to learn. When I want to go learn, she gives me the time to learn. And when I don't learn, she criticizes me and says, Josh, why are you not learning? If I come one day, I don't learn, she says, Josh, why are you not learning? Go learn. Because I come home, I'm tired of this, that. She's always pushing me in the right direction, so I'm very lucky, thank God, that to have such an amazing wife. Anyway, we'll say a few stories quickly from the Gemara that I thought was interesting, and it's the important ideas in life. The first story...
You always have to thank your wife twice.
Twice.
Right? That's something you learn over
time. Twice. Okay, this is new. And of course, thank you to Maraju and our grandma, that without her, none of us would be here. The Gemara talks about this story. It starts talking about somebody who goes into a shower. Back then, the showers weren't like today's showers. There were different kinds of showers that they needed like heat and fire underwards to keep the water warm. So it was a little bit dangerous because there was fire in the area. So it says before you go to the shower, say a certain prayer. So it says say this prayer, and then it says, okay, in the middle of the prayer, originally the Gemara is telling us that you should say, okay, hopefully God will bless us, nothing will happen, but if something bad happens to me, it'll be a kapara. If God forbid, if something bad happens. Then right away, Abaye, one of the rabbis in the Gemara, says that don't say that. You should never say that. He says, why? Because you shouldn't be motzi pela satan, ever. This is a general rule that we should all learn of how valuable and how strong and how powerful our words are. We should never say something negative, because if once something negative comes out of our mouth, chas v'shalom, it gives a capability of that negativity to come into the world. As long as we keep it within us, it's not going to come. But the Gemara is telling us, and we learn from throughout the Torah, that if we say negative things, or if we thinking of something negative and we bring it through our mouths, even if that's not what we mean, in this prayer, so to speak, they weren't saying that chas v'shalom something bad should happen. They say if something bad happens. No, don't even say if something. Never even think of or talk about this bad thing that might occur. This is the first lesson from the Gemara. Then another interesting story that we'll learn on later on, that will be the next important thing that I saw in the last few pages that we're learning, is a story with Rabbi Akiva. All of us know Rabbi Akiva. There was one story one time. He was going on the street, going to the town, visit a town. He gets to this town, and he's trying to find a place to sleep at night. He didn't have anywhere to sleep. He's asking people, can I sleep? Can I sleep? Nobody really welcomed him in. He didn't have a place to sleep. Rabbi Akiva said, you know what? He says in the words of the Gemara, Kol de'avad rachamana letav avad. Anything that the merciful one, that Hashem, HaKadosh Baruch Hu does, it's for the good. I have to trust that it's for the good, even though I don't understand why I don't get a place to sleep. These people, they don't know who I am. What are they doing? Hey, he didn't say that. He said, Hashem, I trust Hashem knows what he's doing. It's for the good. So he goes into the field. He sleeps in the field. With him, with Rabbi Akiva, he had his rooster. He had a donkey, and he had his lamp or light or lantern, whatever you want to call it, that you light. So he has light. So he lights it on. He's going to sleep. A strong wind comes and puts out his light. So now he has no light. Then it says a cat comes and kills the rooster. And then a lion comes and eats the donkey. Now he has nothing left. Again, contrary to probably what all of us would do, at least for myself, I don't want to speak for anyone else, but we probably would say, Hashem, why are you doing this to us? Why all these bad things continuously one after the other happening? But Rabbi Akiva is teaching us that's not the way a Jew should think. Anything that happens, he says again, Kol davad rachmana l'tavava. Anything that Hashem does is for the good. Anything that happens is for the good. What's the end of the story? Now, that night, the city gets raided. They come and they capture the city. Right? So what ends up happening? Since he didn't have, if he had a light, they would have seen him. They would have captured him and killed him. If he had his rooster was making noise, or his donkey was making noise, or big, they would come and they would see it. They would capture him, they would kill him. He didn't have any of these things. He wasn't in anybody's house. He was in the middle of the field. Nobody saw him. Nobody caught him. He came afterwards and he says, you see, everything that Hashem does is for good. Now, it's a very nice story, and it's a very powerful story. It shows us that everything Hashem does is for the good. Just one thing we have to add is that it's not always you see it in such a short span of time, right? Majority of the time, something happens, we don't understand why it happens. It takes a long time for us to realize, if we're lucky enough to realize why that was for good. Sometimes we don't even see it in our life, but afterwards, in 100 years from now, now I get why this happened and why that happened and why this happened. So we have to have this outlook on life, and it's a very important point. There's two parts of this. Two parts of this saying that everything that Hashem does is for the good. One is that we have to understand the whole world is being run by Hashem. He's in control at all times. It's not what we're doing here, the actions we take, we have a choice to do good or bad. But Hashem is the big picture. Hashem is involved in everything, and anything good, bad happens. There's a reason why it happens, even if we don't understand. Then, now that we know Hashem is in control of everything, we have to internalize and we have to understand that everything He does is for the good. It's always for the good. Now, we don't understand, because if you look at the big picture, the world, let's say, from what we believe and our custom of Jews is 5,700 something years old. This is when the man was created. This is when the world was created. We live, if we're lucky, 100 years, 120 years, right? If we're lucky, how much is that out of 5,000? It's how can you see if what happens to you is good or not good or this or that? We're the creation, we're not the creator, right? So we have to believe this, we have to understand this, and if we internalize it, anything that happens to us we'll be able to get by just fine. Because anything that happens, whether it's good or bad, even the good things, you should say this, right? Sometimes we take it for granted. When something good happens, we don't thank God. We don't say anything. Oh yeah, this is supposed to happen because I'm a good person. Good thing is supposed to happen to me. Or I go to work in the morning, I'm supposed to make money. If we make money, we don't say thank you Hashem that you helped me make money because I'm supposed to. I went to work for 10 hours. Right? But even for the good, we have to thank. The same way, for the bad, we have to say it's for the good. For the good, we have to say it's for the good. These are two very important lessons. And now everybody's hungry, so we'll finish the Gemara. The end of the Gemara, it says actually what we say every day. Tana Devel Yahu. It says over here, Amar Rabbi Elazar, Rabbi Chanina, Talmidei Chachamim Rabim Shalom Ba'olam. It says this Rabbi Elazar, the name Rabbi Chanina, that Talmidei Chachamim, they bring peace into the world. Shene'emar V'chol Banaich Limudei Adonai, V'rav Shalom Banaich, Al Tukei Banaich, Ela Bonaich. The pasuk says, all of your sons learn Limudei Adonai, right? And then V'rav Shalom Banaich. It says, don't read this Banaich. The word in the pasuk, don't read it Banaich. Say Bonaich. They're builders. They create peace. Talmidei Chachamim, people who are learning Torah, continuously creating peace. You can understand it both literally. They make peace between people. They learn the laws. They're in the courts. They're doing all the justice. And on top of that, just by the fact of learning Torah, they make peace in the world. Then it continues. Shalom Rav Lovei Toratecha Ve'enemo Mechshol. Now saying Pesukim about peace. Yehi Shalom B'Cheleh Shalom Meratayich. Laman Achav V'Rai Doram Shalom Na Shalom Bach. Laman Beit Adonai Eloheinu V'Hakshat Tovlach. And then it says, Adonai Oz La'amo Yiten. Adonai Barech Et Amo V'Shalom. This is the end of Masechet. Hadran Alach HaRo'eh Sli Kalam Masechet Brachot. Quickly we'll say the Hadran in the Kaddish. Hadran Alach Masechet Brachot Hadran Chalan. Da'atan Alach Masechet Brachot V'da'ata Chalan. La Din Hashem Menach Masechet Brachot La Din Hashem Menach. La Ba'al Ma'adim La Ba'al Madate. Hadran Alach Masechet Brachot Hadran Chalan. Masechet Brachot Da'ata Chalan. La Din Hashem Menach Masechet Brachot La Din Hashem Menach. La Ba'al Ma'adim La Ba'al Madate. Hadran Alach Masechet Brachot Hadran Chalan. Da'atan Alach Masechet Brachot Da'ata Chalan. La Din Hashem Menach Masechet Brachot La Din Hashem Menach. La Ba'al Ma'adim La Ba'al Madate. Yeras Ma'fanech Harana Elenu Vatenu. שתהיה תורתך אומנותנו בעולם הזה ותהיה עמנו לעולם הבא. חנינא בר פפא, רמי בר פפא, נחמן בר פפא, אחי בר פפא, אבא מרי בר פפא, רפם בר פפא, רכיש בר פפא, סורחב בר פפא, אדר בר פפא, דרור בר פפא. הערב נא אדוני אלוהינו דברי תודך ופינו בידך וצאצאינו. אנחנו צאצאים צאצאים וצאצאי עמך. בית ישראל כולנו יודעי שמך ולומדי תורתך. מאוהבי תחכמני מצוותיך כי לעולם היא לי. יהי ליבי תמים בחוקיך למען לא אבוש. לעולם לא אשכח פקודיך כי בא מחייתני. ברוך אתה אדוני למדנו כולך אמן 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 צלע בית. מודים אנחנו לפניך אדוני אלוהינו ואלוהינו ששמת חלקנו לשבת בית המקדש ולא שמת חלקנו לשבת קרנות. שאנו משכימים ומשכימים. אנו משכימים דברי תורה והם משכימים דברי בטלים. אנו עמלים והם עמלים. אנו עמלים מקבלים שכר והם עמלים ואינם מקבלים שכר. אנו רצים והם רצים. אנו צריכים לעולם הבא והם רצים לבאר שחר. שנאמר אתה אלוהים תורדם ובאר שחר אשר דברים למען לא יפסו לימיהם ואני אפתח בך. יראת לפניך אדוני אלוהינו שם שעזרתנו לסיים מסכת ברכות. כן תעזרנו להתחיל מסכתות ספרים אחרים לסיימם ללמוד וללמד לשמור ולעשות ולקיים את כל דברי תורתך באהבה. זכות כל התנאים והאמוראים ותלמידי חכמים יעמוד לי ולזרעי שלא תמוש התורה מפי ומפי זרעי וזרע זרעי עד עולם. ותתקיים בי בהלכך תנחה אותך ושוכבך תשמור עלי והקיצותה היא תשיחך. כי בי ירבו ימיך ויוסיפו לך שנות חיים אור חיים בבינה שמאלה שבכבוד. אדוני עוז לעמו ייתן אדוני יברך את עמו בשלום. התקדש והתקדש שמי רבה. ועם עתיד הוא עתיד להתחדתה לחיה מטיה להצקה יד הון לחיה עמל ולבנה קרתה לירושלים ושכללה להיכלה בגבה ומעקר פלחנה נוכרה מן הרעה ולהטבה פלחנה די שמיה לעטרה וימליך קודשה בריחו ומלכותה יצמח פורקנה ויקרב משיחי חי יכול ויום יכול לך לכל בישראל ועגלת מן קריב ואמרו אמן יש שמי רבה וברך ועלם לעלמי המיה יתברך וישתבח ויתברך ויתברך ותדע ותלש ונקודשה בריחו ואלה מקום ברכת אשרת וברכת ונחם עד אדם ואמר ואמרו אמן על ישראל ועל רבנה ועל תלמידון וכל תלמידי תלמידון דאמה כל מה להסכים וראית דיברתה אדם ודי וחלתה ואתר יהיה לנו נכון חינם חסרך אמן מן חיים חרי שמיה והרעה ואמרו אמן יש עלמה רבה מן שמיה חיים צבא שעה ונחמה ושדפה וכולה גבוהה צבא חפרה ורוח להצלה לנו כל מועשראל ואמרו אמן עושה שלום ברמה הוא ברחמה ויעשה שלום עלינו ועל כל עמו ישראל ואמרו
Video.